if you have social media, which you most likely do, then you probably have TikTok. And if you don't have TikTok, then you're probably a part of the 1% of people that don't have it, even though everybody around you has, like your friends, your family, and everyone are surrounding you. But today I'm going to be talking about why you shouldn't use TikTok. If you guys can just take a second and do me a huge favor and subscribe to the channel, I would really appreciate that if you go on to enjoy this video. So TikTok, it needs no introduction. This app just released out of nowhere. I mean, it released back in like 2018, 2019. I remember back then when I was in high school and I was just in my physics class and people would be already using the app TikTok. It came after Musical.ly, which if you're old enough to remember that, then that was kind of like the predecessor to TikTok, but TikTok is literally 100 times worse than that. And throughout all these years, ever since 2019 all the way till now, 2024, I actually have somehow managed to stay away from TikTok. You know, everybody around me would be using TikTok, be like, oh my gosh, like, did you see this new TikTok trend? And I would be watching all these new stars rise. You have people, Charli D'Amelio, the D'Amelio sisters, you have all the TikTok dancers, they would all be doing this dance, and then there would literally be a trend coming out every single day out of TikTok. It's just so much going on. And there was many times where I was tempted to use TikTok, but I didn't use it because I knew that this app is literally ruining the new generation of people. It's ruined so many people's attention spans and ruined so many people's brains and mind because it literally fries your dopamine system. So let's get into it. The first thing that it does is that it ruins your attention span. TikTok users literally cannot focus on a normal video now unless they have Subway Surfer footage overlaid with another video game and just Family Guy footage and there's like this and that. They literally need 4 to 5 different types of stimulation to actually keep them focused on the video because they can't keep their mind focused on one thing now. Like they literally go on their phone, they see a new TikTok, scroll, 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 scroll. They literally have to get your attention within 1 second, literally 1 millisecond, or else they're not going to watch the video. And I'm still kind of an old school guy where I'm willing to just sit down and watch a full video, even if it's unedited. I guess my dopamine system isn't that fried yet, but when I see these people who just can't even focus for even a second, it just really makes me sad, and it really does mess them up. Because if you can't focus and you're always getting distracted and all these things, then how are you actually going to achieve your goals? Now, the second thing that TikTok does is literally it takes away your time. Like, it's pretty obvious, but the more time you spend on TikTok, the more of your time that you're wasting that you can never get back. And the time that you would be using TikTok, you could be working towards your goals. You could be literally learning a new skill, doing anything else other than wasting your time on this app. And when you're on the app, you may be thinking to yourself, oh, you know, I'm just wasting some time, you know, I'm just taking a break, you know, this is my way of relieving stress. But think about that. Right after you watch those TikToks, do you actually remember any of the TikToks that you've watched? Probably not, because they're all just mind-numbingly trying to give you some of this dopamine, even though you know that it's not going to stick with you and that this stuff is literally meaningless at the end of the day. The third thing that it does is that it has a lot of, let's just say, sus content on there that makes you tempted. There's a lot of girls, there's a lot of like e-girls, and a lot of these girls are promoting their OnlyFans, which is just like another level of degeneracy. They're all doing this just to get your attention because attention is so important in today's society. And they literally use these girls as ways of getting you to click on their OF page and to get them to get you to pay money, and that you will be not only wasting your time but also your money on these girls that literally do not do anything for you. And it's literally just soft core corn at this point. Like, you're just watching these girls doing like a dance with like a provocative outfit, and it's like, ooh, it's stimulating your brain, it's stimulating that side of your brain that's, you know, getting horny. You're like, ooh, you know, these girls are pretty hot, you know, let me then search up a corn site, and then, oh, where does that lead you to? It leads you to fapping, which then leads you to be lazy, and it gets you to be unproductive, and you always feel bad afterwards, and you're just like, oh, I wish I could take that back. Well, guess what? You can't take it back. And what's happened already happened. And another thing is that TikTok is making people more stupid. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, like, this generation is cooked. Like, Gen Alpha, Gen Z, like, people are so cooked nowadays. Like, how do they even function normally when they're just on TikTok literally 24/7? They, like, the majority of their screen time is them being on TikTok, and the stuff that they have on there is literally rotting your brain. That's why they call it brain rot, right? You have all these short form videos just frying your dopamine system. They literally give you brain fog. They make you function less. They make you literally lazy, and they make you just want to like lay down and just scroll these TikToks because it literally hijacks your brain and hijacks your dopamine system. And I think the saddest part about TikTok is that most people don't realize that they're in too deep. You tell them to get off of TikTok, but then just like, oh no, like I'm just gonna keep scrolling, like, oh, or maybe I'll just try to get off of TikTok a little bit, but then they just go right back into it because they don't realize that they're actually addicted to it. So whenever you're trying to tell your friends, like, hey, like you should probably spend less time on TikTok, they probably are having a hard time doing that because it literally is like an addiction. They literally are addicted to watching this type of content because they'll think that, oh, I'm missing out on this new post that they're going to be posting. But it's like, do you feel like that is more important than the things that you actually have to do in real life? And also the regret that you feel, the sense of regret that you're going to feel right after watching those TikTok. You're going to be thinking, man, like I missed out on my potential. I could have used this time to build up my career. I could have used this time to get better grades and to just pursue my purpose, and so all these different things that you could be doing. Now, sure, I'm not saying that there aren't good TikTokers out there. Like there's definitely people who made a career of themselves off of TikTok, and not every TikToker is out here trying to, attention farm and they just try to post brain rot content. But these are very few and in between. And let's be honest, the content that TikTok themselves are promoting is literally things that they want you to keep on watching. So then you would spend more time on their app. Therefore, they would make more money from that. And I'm just really glad that I never got into TikTok. I mean, I'm already scrolling on YouTube Shorts a lot these days, so I'm already wasting time on that. And I do feel shame and regret from that. So I can only imagine how much worse it would be if I added TikTok onto that. So that would be double the amount of time wasted. So I hope that's just a quick little video to tell you about TikTok. You're probably smart enough to know that TikTok is bad for you, so you should probably stop using it. Or if you don't use it, then that's amazing. Comment down below what's your experience with TikTok and what you think about that. So if you stayed till the end, I really, really appreciate that. Most people probably aren't going to stay till the end. But if you did, I appreciate that. Please like and subscribe. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.